It's Friday. Friday. We're back on the Friday.
I didn't know you both would be so excited to have me back.
I mean, you're the factor here. We're always excited, of course. We're doing this because of the viewers at home, but you're an extra factor. Who wouldn't want to work with an intelligent, a superstar like you? You bring in the energy. Our energy levels are very high anytime you're on the set. And, of course, we felt your absence yesterday. But I'm glad you're no longer under the weather. You have come out of the weather. You are over the weather. You are standing on existing protocols.
So this was the question when I was away.
No,
how did you cope with these two men?
When you're not here, we're matured. You know, men, it's a men thing.
Okay.
But you bring us back to.
I'm glad to be back. I missed you, but
it's good to have you back.
Anytime we're not here, there's a certain sense of being away, and I missed you as well. Thank you for always choosing Breakfast Central. There's no better way to start your morning. Of course, after prayer, the next thing is to turn on your TV to watch Breakfast Central. Thank you very much for joining us. For the next 3 hours, we're looking at interesting stories happening around the Nigerian state, and maybe we might be heading out of the country to other parts of the nation. Stick around. We'll also be reviewing the newspapers, and that is the point where you're calling to share your thoughts. But let's come back to Nigeria and start off with the wake-up conversations. I know we all saw the videos where it was a bit shocking to see the aircraft, the value jet aircraft, moving and almost carrying somebody along the
I
rings.
saw a comment says, "Who be the Agbero pilot? Maneuvering like a Molue downfall driver." But there were lots of factors.
There's a lot. I think while you weren't here yesterday, myself and Gbenga discussed it. And we did something beautiful, extraordinary while discussing that. I had to go back. It's on X, by the way. Check it out. Fantastic views. It's garnered a lot of views and a lot of comments as well from people. Oh yes.
What video?
Our conversation on the value jet and KWAM incidents that took place. I did see a comment. I really wish we could pick up some comments from that on X. And someone said, listen, he had made a very key point that, he was linking it towards the fact that when people have power, or they have their people in power,
or they have access,
then they start to misbehave. But today, just like we did yesterday, we said, let's wait till more evidences come out. And guess what? More videos and evidences did come out just yesterday. So I think it's good for us to now start looking at every single thing, just like we did yesterday, from back and forth. And then, so first of all, we have 4 things to look at. The first one is we do have a response from the daughter of K1, the ultimate, KWAM. She happens to be the SSA to the governor of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu, on tourism as well. We'll also look at the
Minister of Aviation and Aerospace,
who has also spoken and spoken tough. And then we'll also look at, the authorities, that's the body concerning aviation in Nigeria, and not forgetting to also look at the video. So back to you guys. I don't know which one you want to start with.
You lead the conversation. The only thing I want to start with, since I wasn't here yesterday, was that the last information we had before now was that it was because he was drinking something that was from a flask, something that was assumed to be alcohol, and they had told him not to drink that, and he said it's water. Later they said it's medication that's, his health, whether his doctor had.
But then there was a part that said he also spilled the content
on the.
So it feels like there have been different stories.
Which is what we did.
Well, shed the light.
Let's watch the first video. More videos have emerged, and this is another video that will show you a different part. Remember yesterday's video, I did show just when the plane was about almost dangerously decapitating the legendary musician. But now more videos have shown that this conversation really started from way back, and I think it confirms what Gbenga had asked yesterday. Let's take a look.
All right, we'll have that video.
Okay, that video is almost ready. Yeah.
But before then, we're still looking at some very interesting happenings. And this time around is not with the aviation sector. We're looking at the train. The train, Nigeria's railway industry is one that is, we have a lot of hope in it. But this time around, what we've seen is quite heartbreaking. It would seem that a moving train compartment breaks off on the expressway. Imagine being in the train and all of a sudden you're at the second part the second part, and then there is a division. It's giving 1001 Ways to Die. It's giving, a movie. It's like something that will happen in a movie. You don't imagine, you never imagine that this is something that will happen to you in your lifetime. But we have a video. Let's take a look at it.
To go and join that one the other hand. What do you have to feel about the train head? Because of our security. This is what is happening in Nigeria. We need to look at the issue of security. They are moving the train head down to go and meet the other one the other side. So they are moving the train to go and join that one the other hand. What do you have to feel about the train head? Because of our security. This is what is happening in Nigeria. We need to look at the issue of security. They are moving the train head down to go and meet the other one the other side.
Thankfully, no lives were lost in the making of that video, but what happened was that this happened yesterday at 8 a.m. in Lagos State. It was reported that it happened around 8 a.m. as the train from Ogbayo in Ogun State was headed for Apapa in Lagos State, and all of a sudden we could see that there was a detachment of the compartment within the train. It's a division of labor.
It's true now. That first part has done its own. They had to move the second part to it. I mean, it might sound funny, but this shouldn't be happening in 2025. I mean, you can't have wagons separate from the other parts of the train. And this looks like one of those colonial relics. We should have moved beyond this sort of trains. They should take a cue from the Lagos State government and modernize the train infrastructure. Having said that, we also have, I mean, they're modern trains, the ones that go to Ibadan, that go to Abeokuta. We should have decommissioned this type of train. So I'm not surprised this sort of thing is happening. And thankfully, no injuries were reported and no loss of lives were also reported. The new MD of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, Mr. Kayode Opefa, is doing a great job in, modernizing and improving service delivery. And when it comes to train services, my sister happened to use one of the trains to Abeokuta a few weeks ago, and the reports I got was good. But yesterday also, in the news, on social media, a woman recorded one of and that's why you need technology to bypass human error and corruption, because the MD of Nigeria Railway Corporation is not going to be anywhere, and I don't think it's his fault that thing happened. This woman said there were no tickets. Meanwhile, she was selling the tickets to black marketers, to those that were selling tickets at the train station, so she could make a profit. I mean, it's very terrible.
Waiting man, do man. I mean, in this case, waiting man.
And it's because someone was not doing their job. That's why KWAM left the first, when they check for boarding passes, you should have dropped this liquid there and got onto the plane. And we avoided the national tragedy. You have to give it to him. Maybe because of dancing, you have quick reflexes. He was able to bend down low.
Okay, we'll come to KWAM, but just let's quickly look.
No, we have to link from train to aeroplane. Next, maybe tomorrow's wake up will go to shipping industry.
But that's tomorrow's wake up will be handled by Breakfast Extra.
It's true.
Yes, unfortunately,
they don't even do wake up.
They don't
have that kind of segment.
Okay. Let's have reactions to that video. And some of course, Nigerians would always tweet. Someone says, just imagine, smaller countries are enjoying electric trains. We're here pushing our own train while a former governor stole 80 billion naira, which is enough to get an electric train. At least one.
Who's that former governor?
Who's that former governor?
I wonder.
If you say Baba.
If you ask me, who I will ask?
2K Mike says, Nigeria is not even fit to be called third world country. Nothing works except corruption, tribalism, and nepotism. Pathetic. And the next tweet we have from Sheol News says, normally this type of train will be renovated and moved to rural agricultural areas in some countries. It helps to move farm produce and farmers, but
I agree.
Still will not experience this type of anomaly. How does a train detach without external intervention? Again...
Did you do that train thing in Vietnam, or is it Thailand?
It's in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yes, the one where you're eating by the side of the road and the train No, I didn't do it.
We could also use it for tourism and museum.
No, not
and
this train.
relics.
No, not this. Yes, museum. Yes, museum. Let it just be packed.
Yeah.
People can use it. Sure, you can use it to. They can decide to rebrand it. You can use it to shoot music videos and something. They can rebrand the inside.
But this guy asked a very important question. He said, "How can a train detach?"
How come?
He said, "Imagine
Without
you are an
any
Olive
external-
on that train coming to Breakfast Central. Then you arrive first. Olive will still be in Ogba, in Ikeja. Joe, where's Olive now? Our train detached. They are pushing it. It's coming."
Time in a country like Nigeria.
Kinkley said, "What is this? Is this the train?" Okay, you've taken out the tweet. Sorry, I was reading that.
Let's see if we can put it back.
All
to the
right,
last
is this
stream.
the train that borrowed so much money to resuscitate, or the type of train these men see abroad when they go on vacations or treatment? Why are leaders heartless? God help this country. And that's a very valid question that Kingsley has asked, because the lots of us here in Nigeria, we all own cars, or some of us own cars, or if you don't own a car, or your car has an issue, you take a taxi because you don't want to enter the public transport. Abroad, when you go to London, you will enter the trains, not because...
Yeah, regardless
apart
of your class in
exactly,
society.
apart from the fact that the taxis are ridiculously expensive, but the trains are comfortable. In fact, the influencers, all of them will be doing videos of themselves in trains because you're proud to show yourself in that train. It's not embarrassing. What we saw there is very, very embarrassing. It's beyond pathetic.
Yeah,
The
so you
quality
could see
of our-
how cramped they were. It's not suitable
Yes.
for
And
human transportation.
if only, you know, in the next few years, that's an area that we can focus on. Here in Lagos, we experience the amount of traffic and congestion that we experience because Lagos is really a mega city. Everybody wants to come to Lagos.
Yeah.
And we have to now start to look for alternative means of
The
transportation.
infrastructure,
Our waterways, our railways, because if everybody is depending on the same road infrastructure, there's going to be repeated breakdown of the roads. All the potholes that you're always
And,
coming to complain
traffic
about, we'll keep
jam.
seeing them. Then the traffic jam. Right, because I heard, I've never tried it, but that from the island to Ikorodu is like 15-20 minutes with a ferry. Whereas
Yes,
imagine
it
if you
is.
had to go by road, how much longer?
And
So
we're blessed. I
there's
mean,
so
it's
much
called the
potential.
state of aquatic splendor, which we can leverage a water transportation,
Yes.
an alternative. And it's a good thing that after all these years, at least people might complain about the distance it covers and the coverage area. But I think we need a train on that Lekki-Ajah corridor.
I absolutely
Lekki, Ekpe.
They said it's going to be added on the
Yeah, I
Lagos
think
coastal,
that should be the
coastal
purple-
road.
purple
That it's,
line.
there's going to be a lane for trains.
But you know what's
But we do not
scary?
know where.
But I'm
and
not
how
even, I want the state government to do. I think Purple Line is part of their plans. And they're expanding the current Blue Line to get to past Lasu. There's currently works ongoing, the one that gets to Festac. So great initiative by the Lagos state government.
All right. I mean, we do look forward to having more expansion in Nigeria's railway sector. There's much work that needs to be done, and there's so much that it would do if we invest in Nigeria's railway sector. It would reduce the traffic times, the waiting times on the road. It would help our roads last longer because many people...
I mean,
will opt
personally, for
the
me,
alternative
I've
mix.
used the train to Ibadan and Abeokuta a few times, and I have less anxiety on the trains. You know, when you're in a car, when you're on the expressway and they're about to overtake, and then you see these long articulated vehicles, you have some sort of apprehension. But on the trains, there's also business class and first class. You can have breakfast, there are USB charging ports.
But those
they're
are
very
that's
comfortable.
modern train, not this one that we saw.
Yes, so we should upgrade this.
This one is green.
This is train. This is train. There's no N. Train. However, I also saw a comment where someone said, a patriotic Nigerian said, we shouldn't talk less or talk down on the incidents because even in India, such trains still exist. And he was
Why
trying
must
to
we compare ourselves with
and I wonder
negative things?
I don't know
Why
why
can't you
we
say
always
even
find
in Japan or even in South Korea?
Exactly.
Or even in Singapore?
Why do we like to retrogress? Or in
That's
other
not
words,
being
look for a
patriotism.
landing
That's
ground for
benchmarking yourself.
negativity. Exactly.
Not on excellence, but mediocrity.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Thank you, Joe.
But then again, I just laughed and I said, you see, that's the problem we have as a
Keep
country.
making excuses
The way
for-
people
for
think. And I'm
mediocrity.
sure that budgets and funds are being given to maintain this particular train. But unfortunately, it's not done. And the biggest problem we have is systematic. It's a systematic problem. Nobody will be held accountable for this thing that happened.
Does it matter that
Nobody.
after this incident, the
Nobody.
response
I mean, they might
was
be
very swift?
embarrassed to do something
No, they
because
did
I mean,
something
it's on
immediately.
social
They
media.
reconnected
Okay.
They reconnected it, yeah.
And then the train was able to get to its destination. So maybe that
Okay.
counts for something. There was emergency response no lives were lost, thankfully, and this was quickly sorted. But
and thanks to that reporter, by the way.
That reporter
everybody
was,
is a citizen reporter. The commentary is always legendary. Bro, our job is at stake. So many Nigerians.
And now reporters.
Even the KWAM video, there was commentary in the background.
Let's go now to that KWAM video. All right, so like we said, new videos have emerged to show what really happened. Remember yesterday we were caught between who was at fault after reading the press releases from the Aviation Authority, not forgetting from KWAM1's PR team, and then we also saw a response that came from ValueJet. But let's see the video that will help us to conclude this case, as it were. Take a look.
George.
All right, so that's the video that you can see there. Multiple videos have emerged showing that someone was at fault, regardless of what we saw yesterday.
I think this was an established fact from the get-go.
Yeah, it was. But
yes,
we had to take it to the media court to ensure that the facts are purely and concrete and they're fully established.
What's the punishment for this? NCAA slammed 6 months flight ban on KWAM1 over security bridge. I believe this is a slap on the wrist, and the penalty is not commensurate to the disorder and to the chaos we witnessed on the tarmac. It should be more than 6 months. It should be the crime is not commensurate to the punishment. And I guess it's because of the personality involved. If this were other crimes, just watching that video, this will call for psychiatric evaluation.
All right.
Absolutely.
Now, the different camps have started to put out their side of the story. Let's hear from the NCAA. They say the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has officially petitioned the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police to launch a thorough investigation into the incident involving musician King Wasiu Omogbolahun Olasukomi Adewale Ayinde Marshal, full government name, popularly known as K1 The Ultimate, and domestic airline ValueJet. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, 5th August 2025, reportedly disrupted standard operational procedures and raised concerns over passenger conduct and airline safety protocols, according to preliminary reports during a scheduled ValueJet flight. KWAM, the ultimate, was allegedly involved in actions that violate the Nigeria civil aviation regulations. So here they say, while full details of the incident are being compiled, the NCAA has emphasized the importance of upholding aviation safety standards and ensuring accountability regardless of the parties involved. So now let's skip. Now, let's go to the advisory. They say, furthermore, in light of the growing concern, the DG of the Civil Aviation, Captain Chris Najomo, has also issued an advisory to the airline operators of Nigeria, urging the immediate consideration and institution of a no-fly list for KWAM, the ultimate, on any commercial flight, Babagodi board train, pending the outcome of official investigations. And if they train, the thing can disconnect while in transit. Well, this is what they said, and they're saying that this advisory is in line with global aviation standards that prioritize the safety of passengers.
Private jets are also commercial.
Yes.
All right. So now let's move away. NCAA has said their side of the story is still fighting. Now let's bring in Festus.
And they've taken it to the appropriate authorities.
Yes.
Fantastic petition to the
All
Nigerian
right. They've of course said he should be put on a no-fly list and that this is in line with global aviation standards. Let's now hear from Festus Keyamo, the minister. All right. Festus Keyamo says, I've received reports from all the relevant aviation agencies regarding the altercation between the staff and crew of ValueJet and KWAM at the Nnamdi Azikiwe
I don't
International
think there
Airport,
was an
Abuja.
altercation. It was someone being a nuisance at the tarmac.
He said, from all the details so far received, my preliminary impression is that it was obviously a case of temporary loss of sanity. Now we say, then they craze and control on both sides, which could have led to serious fatalities. Contrary to what the agents of KWAM has said, he constantly moved his position on the tarmac to actually block the aircraft.
So that press statement was false.
To take position on the runway for takeoff. This is totally unacceptable behavior. The issue of whether he was carrying water or alcohol is not even the issue at this point. It is a physical blockage of the aircraft from taxiing. That is the reprehensible conduct here, which akin to a hostage situation. The actual video footage showing this recalcitrant behavior is hereby attached. On the other hand, no amount of provocation should make the captain and pilot of an aircraft begin to taxi without ensuring that the security personnel have safely moved an unruly passenger away that is standing in front of an aircraft. Both sides breached standard safety protocol as required by ICAO, that's International Civil Aviation Organization. I have noted that the NCAA has temporarily suspended the license of the captain and the pilot pending full investigation. I commend them for their proactive action. However, I have also questioned their sense of justice in only acting against one party and not the other party.
Correct.
What applies to the goose must also to the gander.
Correct.
That is one of the tenets of justice I have preached all my life. I will not sit idly and allow this to pass. So this is, he also has directed that the NCAA place KWAM on a no-fly list pending further and full investigation. And then he attached a video. We played this video earlier. This is the video that he attached to it. So you can see that from his argument. It was a balanced punishment. Say, when you do this to A, you must do this to B as well. You can't sanction
So you
the
could see
plane
him physically
blocking the plane.
the
How
plane.
do you not see a
Is
plane?
this Superman?
The ants.
Are you
that you do not see
Superman?
the ants. This
Then
massive
all
plane.
this big manism, I will make a call. So let's assume, because the video also emerged of the president of Nigeria wishing him a happy birthday.
That was
Mr.
way
Speaker.
back. Yeah.
Old video. So you have access to the president. So, and then, okay, let's assume you are calling the #1 citizen of the land.
To do what?
Do you think he will support that recalcitrant behavior you're exhibiting or being a nuisance at that level? Of course, it's wrong. People should, conduct themselves better.
I think I always say this, and I'm going to say it again. Sometimes let's buy out time and visit the hospitals. Yes, visit the hospitals.
It's very humbling.
Or visit the mortuary. This is not to say anything. Just do that. You'll be humbled. When you see people who have money, but they're begging for life, they're just sitting down there. They can't move. Either they're incapacitated or they have their spine broken. Why am I bringing this into this conversation? We have a problem, and I said it again. It's a systemic problem where, do you know who I am? Because you're closer to power, so you feel, how would you stand? Yesterday while we were watching this video, the first video that came out didn't show this one where it was right in front. If you take a look at that video,
Well, the one that went by the
side.
side.
yes, we only saw the one by the side. When the aircraft was taxiing to the right, take note, he also moved to the right. And at some point, one of the videos showed where he put his hand, and I'm like, are you Superman?
Okay.
That's giving some area boy mentality.
Let's also have KWAM1's daughter, because she replied to this as well. For those who were not aware, KWAM1's daughter had shared her own side. So she had replied to FAA, and this is the letter. It says, our attention has been drawn to reports alleging that Kinkwasiu Ayinde Marshal K1, the ultimate, displayed unruly conduct while attempting to board a ValueJet flight on August 5th, 2025, allegedly causing a breach of aviation protocol. We wish to categorically state that this narrative is not only exaggerated, but also misleading.
We have eyes.
Go on, let's hear.
Did K1 act in a manner that endangered lives or breached safety regulations? The substance in question. This looks like a ChatGPT typed answer, though. All these, they are... The substance in question, which was wrongly sensationalized, was nothing more than plain drinking water given to him at the airport lounge while he waited to board the aircraft. Despite his respectful effort to clarify this, the situation was unnecessarily escalated. Claims that K1 blocked the aircraft or attempted to disrupt operations are completely unfounded. The veteran artist, who is globally respected and frequently travels both locally and internationally, understands and strictly adheres to aviation protocols. If indeed there had been anything inappropriate in his conduct, the head of airport security officials from relevant agencies such as FAN and NCAA, as well as the chairman and managing director of the airline, would not have reached out personally to appeal, tender apologies, and even go as far as arranging a private jet to fly him to Lagos. At no cost, despite persistent persuasion from the airline's top executives, K1 graciously declined the offer. It must also be emphasized that K1 was the victim in this incident. No one else but him. Wow. And his personal assistant was directly involved. The water was given to him at the lounge, and staff at the lounge confirmed content even after K1 had opened the flask at the foot of the plane. In light of this recent developments, it's important to note that the pilot involved now has her license suspended. Given the circumstances, it is no surprise if she attempts to deflect blame. Surely she must lie to cover herself. Wow. Anyway, this is the media aid, not the daughter.
Gaslighting on a
We took
globe.
this yesterday. This was dropped yesterday, if you look at the date as well. And while this was dropped, we took it yesterday. I think what she did was she just reposted it. She stood by it and said, this is what happened.
Gaslighting on a global scale.
I'm very sure that she's going to retract this.
She won't. I mean, you need a level of shame and awareness
she's
to
a
retract
figure
this
as well. I mean,
but I mean, it's out there. I don't think it's. She will just realize that this is false.
Professionally,
and you leave it there.
I mean, professionally, you guys have been in the media for years. Let me act like I'm interviewing both of you now. What's the best thing he can do at this point?
Just apologize.
Come out and apologize.
Do a video.
So the thing is, I wish the people will understand, especially public officials, the amount of influence that they wield and how we're not in 1999 anymore. When something is going wrong, then there are different sides to the story. There's your side, but there are other people who are there who have video evidence. The cameras are rolling and filming, and we show different sides of the story that you're trying to portray. So if you're telling a story to suit your narrative, you better well be telling the truth, because there'll be video angles to show that. That being said, this again reminds me of another incident that happened a few months ago. Comrade Adams Oshomole and Epis, and the fracas that ensued because of flying. And till today, there's still two sides of that story. We don't know what had happened.
What has the NCAA done to that?
About it,
and
we don't know
as well.
So there needs to be established protocol to let people know that no Nigerian is more important than any other Nigerian.
Absolutely.
There have been information, like if you will hear where they will say that there are times flights have been delayed because certain people needed to get on the flights. I mean, these are things we hear in the grapevine.
And from the tone of that,
it's happened.
From the tone of his media aid, that press statement, you could
a bit
tell,
cocky.
Very cocky, name dropping. He said the MD of FAN, he graciously rejected it. He's saying the MD of FAN is his fan.
It's his fan. You know what we'll do, Gbenga? I think the truth is out. And the three things we deduce from this is, one, yes, the pilot was wrong to have taxied and looking to take off, even when you had humans right there. That's one. The good thing is action has been taken on her license. I mean, rather, she's been suspended. Let's see what will come out of that.
The Nigeria police needs to invite
as for
KWAM
the legend who carried out that, the problem is, let me just say this quickly. His fans are watching. His diehard fans, especially those who are unlettered, they're watching. Those who are unlettered, we know what they do. We know how they feel, how they act. So this action would drive them to feel that, oh, listen, I can even do the same somewhere. I can also.
I mean, portable. Sorry, Elizabeth Joyce might be watching this, and they'll say, "Look, if my idol can do this, then
my idol,
I can do that as well."
I can do it too.
And this is a lesson I think Nigeria needs to understand, that we're slowly becoming a lawless nation because of impunity, because of a lack of ensuring
because of
that
crimes that don't go punished,
exactly
that
because
go
of
unpunished.
People are not punished for what they do, and impunity therefore reigns. We have to be very careful that those who are even older that we look up to, who at some point will have to, you know, go away and let the young ones come up. The young ones are learning from them. Wonder what will happen.
What examples are you setting?
What examples are you setting? And then later on, you will start saying, imagine you will be the same person coming out to complain that the country is indeed bad in our own time. In your own time, what did you do? This is what you did.
It's human to err. Just come out, issue an apology.
Simple.
All this denial.
So
and
I expect, we heard that the daughter, I would expect the daughter to retract that statement, possibly also come out with a statement apologizing to people and saying, listen, I may have been wrong. We expect the so-called, in quotes, his PA or whoever put that
media
aid, come out and say, okay, we have noticed that we erred. So, simple, just apologize. And then we expect the legendary himself to come out and do a video, possibly in Yoruba, and then in English, and then stating clearly that, oh, I erred, I made a mistake. And
we must realize
it will make us love you more.
I don't think you know what egos for.
At the end of the day, we must realize that there must be, actions must have consequences in this kind of situation, because
absolutely,
if we don't see influential people being made to realize that they are also subject to the law, what will happen is there will continue to be an abuse of processes, especially by those who are meant to lead by example. Ask them if these things that happen in our Nigerian airports. If it will happen in Heathrow or Gatwick, they wouldn't try this outside Nigeria.
It will still be in detention.
They're even going too far. Egypt.
Exactly.
Egypt,
they para. So
Egypt, you can't even just to walk on the tarmac. And walk
if it was in Egypt,
forget.
It will now be in a pyramid like Egyptian mummy. I'm telling you, those guys are not joking.
It's going to be tough if you were in Egypt.
Egypt, the land of Pharaoh.
Let's just be honest. No, let's be honest. We do things so much with levity, and we think
impunity,
it's normal.
Yeah.
We once again,
the Nigerian factor.
to all those who are watching us, yes, we've allowed our emotions come out because that's how we feel. We're humans. These things start from traffic, where somebody feels they could do one way. Until you get out because they have a siren.
God will bless you.
Some people will come in and tell you, idiot, get out, because they are doing a convoy and they're carrying tomatoes.
Joe, God will bless you.
Tomatoes for commissioner's wife.
I was at the Freedom Way.
And they hit your car.
Freedom Way in Lagos, Freedom Way traffic light. And the traffic light was red. Nobody was meant to move. In front of us, a vehicle with escort, police escort, came down. So the vehicle ran the red light, and because the vehicle ran the red light, the one behind it, of course, now wanted to run it. Then the police came down with their gun, and they were shouting and threatening the police alongside the policewoman who was there controlling traffic, and they started intimidating the person who wanted to go behind them. So it's like this VIP went. You know how people try to follow?
I know.
You know, the VIPs and those convoys, because they are clearing traffic. So you want to move now. And I think that thing is the most annoying thing that happens here in Nigeria. Every year we hear the IGP saying he's withdrawing policemen from the
VIP. Don't use sirens for
I wish they had that sense of urgency, the way they always rush into things to fix Nigeria.
Anyway, let's take reactions to this story regarding KWAM versus Value Jet. Nigerians have started talking. Michael Achimuguna, I must applaud him. He's always very proactive and helping in resolving a number of our aviation issues. He says, post 9/11, safety measures in airports across the world became tougher. As technology grows, so do crime and criminals. Some items are considered dangerous goods and cannot be allowed on board and aircraft. If airport security personnel do you a favor based on who you are and allow you to breach security protocols because of who you are, what about the day that they do a criminal with explosives the favor of allowing him on board with a dangerous good that he explains as safe, because he also screams, do you know who I am? Would you like it if your safety is jeopardized based on, do you know who I am? Is that not a valid threat to your life and those of other law-abiding passengers? Let us understand why the rules were put in place and respect the laws. It costs nothing, but it saves a lot. The Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, never skips a security check at the airport. He submits to the law because he knows that it is also for his own safety. If the man at the apex of the industry submit to these protocols, so should every passenger. The checks are not done to diminish your self-worth. Safety and security are top priority in aviation.
Very well said.
Very well
Michael,
written. Very well written. And beyond the issue of what was in the flags, I think we had moved past that. They had ejected him. It was his actions. This one says, Edmond of God says, that was a hostage situation. Once the incident is documented and his name enters the database, KWAM will be lucky to avoid NFL into US, Europe and other places. Big manism is a blight on Nigeria.
And I think it's going to go international if care is not taken.
That pilot should also be charged with attempted murder. His pilot license should be revoked immediately. Unruly passengers can always be bundled by security agents and taken away, but pilot's action was very dangerous.
They agree.
It was very
and
dangerous.
also, they need to petition the security for not doing their job.
Everybody.
You have to physically move him if he's not going to respect himself.
Yes, arrest him, carry handcuffs if you need to.
Because if you were some ordinary Nigerian, they would have bonded
they would have beaten you. They would have
Yes.
beaten you since.
Exactly.
In short, you wouldn't even go past with the bottle.
Law suspended for KWAM as he ought to be charged to court for his behavior. But this selective exemption confirms to friends abroad that indeed Nigeria is a plantain republic.
Well, it's diminished it from banana to plantain.
I don't agree.
It is reprehensible that an individual would try to hold an aircraft hostage and all he gets.
I mean, if you don't charge him to court, then it means, the laws apply to people differently.
Say this year. Let's say this year.
I'm not talking about the Banana Republic issue. But why has he not been charged to court?
Gbenga, let's do it here. Recently, we did start something with Lagos State government, talking about the bad roads, and now they're patching the roads. We're also asking for the lights. So let's start here. Let's wait. Let's do countdown to what will happen to K1.
All right.
And of course, we'll start again.
But you also can have your thoughts shared about this. You can go on YouTube. We're streaming live. Drop your comments regarding this. And as the show proceeds, we'll visit YouTube to take comment section, to check the comment section. But for now, let's bring you what our top stories this morning are. This morning on Breakfast Central, our top stories. President Tinubu signs insurance industry bill into law. What does this mean? We'll find out shortly. Federal government confirms WAEC results, issues fixed, announces 24 hours updates. They have fixed the glitch. And then we'll also be looking at crisis erupts in ADC as 2027 race intensifies. Elections are getting closer. Concerns mount over WASC's results drop. Performance declines as only 38% candidates pass. And the newspaper front pages will be part of the show this morning. Stick around for all these and more.